Hi, this is Lynn Baker. I'm the chair of the Jazz Studies and Commercial Music Department at the University of Denver Lamont School of Music. Welcome to the Shape Method. This is a lesson on a chapter from the Shape Method for Jazz Improvisation. Hi, and welcome to the Shape Method, Chapter 22. This video is going to deal with metric modulation via metapulse and diminished 4 tonic systems. So, in the last chapter, we talked about metric modulation dealing with the divisions of the beat. Here we're going to talk about the groupings of the beat. So imagine you're playing a song in 4/4 and you decide to start pulsing it in half notes. Start pulsing it in half notes instead of quarter notes. Then you re-envision each one of those half notes as having 3 divisions of the beat. Keep that meta division, that meta pulse the same. And modulate directly into 3/4 time. That's what this example does, this graphic right here. Of course, there's lots of ways to get in and out of this sort of stuff because we've opened the door to a pulse of any size, meaning any sort of division. So knock yourself out and be creative using what I call metapulses as devices for metric modulation. The pitch issue that we're going to deal with here is diminished 4 tonic systems. And so earlier and for a while, we've been dealing with superimpositions of one triad on top of another triad. In the next 2 chapters, chapter 22 and the final chapter 23, we're going to deal with multiple superimpositions of triads on each other, and they are symmetrically spaced. So this one is all about having 4 tonic systems within 1 octave. And the scale that this generates, if you do 4 major triads, a minor third apart, it generates a symmetrical diminished scale of half steps and whole steps if you start on the tonic. So it also is applicable to any one of those tonics. For instance, if it's C, it's the same scale and combination of triads for C, E flat, F sharp, and A. The other interesting thing about these diminished 4 tonic systems is they are, not only do they contain major triads, but they contain minor triads. So you can play these triads in any sort of order, all descending, all ascending, connected through other chord tones, alternating ascending and descending. And there are several important jazz lines and commonly used jazz lines that are a result of those. Here's one really common one. So, a couple cool ideas during this video: metric modulation using metapulse and diminished 4 tonic systems. So use those things in your playing and composing and see what direction it takes you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the chapter. To go deeper into the ideas, purchase the Shape Method. You'll receive detailed information, more examples, listening suggestions, composition and performance exercises, and appendices of public domain jazz language, and an explanation of why the blues scale works, and more. Get chops on the concepts by purchasing the Etude Supplements Volume 1 and 2. Please subscribe to the channel and tell your friends.